Hi,
Hi,
Namal.
hi, Siw. Thank you so much for joining in. Siw is CEO of Oslo Business Region. Um, Tell us a bit about yourself.
Happy to be here and great to see all of you here. My name is Siw. I'm adopted from Korea, but grew up in a small town in Norway. I studied art in school, and after that, it's sort of been leading me towards where I am today, and that's basically following people that want to make a change. So that's why I studied art. I worked for a couple of startups in the media and fashion industry way back. Been part of building that community here in Norway as well, and been working at Oslo Business Region for the past 8 years, actually. I can't.
Absolutely awesome to hear, and love the background, art, media, and fashion. I've worked a little bit in that sector myself. But tell us a bit about the plans from Oslo. If you have something, a presentation to share, however you want to go about
Perfect.
it.
I'll bring that up now.
And for all the audience who have connected in, these are amazing insights coming from ecosystem leaders, investors, experts in startups. So take down your notes, connect with the community here, and we'll be sharing the video later on as well for some of you who missed the session. So yeah, Siw, over to you.
Thank you. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Oslo's journey, because Oslo has really developed in the past few years. And our vision is the best is yet to come, because we believe that not everything is finished. We have a lot of goals to reach, and we need you. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how people are a big part of the ecosystem here. First up is Amin Farid. He's the CEO of Prepio, which is a startup that addresses talent onboarding. So if you have a company that needs sort of a more fluid coordination of onboarding remote talent, Prepio is the company. Of course, I'm not going to talk about like the company Prepio, but it says a lot about, Prepio says a lot about how the ecosystem has developed, because what Amin says is that, you know, what is actually the case now is that you can get a lot of help in Oslo on building your company. And in the last 10 years, we see that where there used to be almost no incubators or accelerators in Oslo, we now have about 50 professional environments for building your company. So you can get, you know, public sector support from companies like us, or you can get from a lot of private incubators, accelerators, and so on, just such as Antler, which you've heard from already. And one of the big developments is also the funding, because I think this was a challenge 10 years ago in Oslo, that there was no startup capital. That has changed a lot. So there was a recent count, and I think in the last 10 years, there's now over 60 different investment or funding communities and funds in Norway available for startups. A lot for early stage, but also for more scale-up phase as well. And I think one of the things that Amin says is that I think this has changed a lot in Oslo and Norway as well, that we didn't have startup culture, but now we see that, you know, this has changed, and he got his first investor, but just to call the email. Oslo has changed a lot because of engaged investors such as Snø. I know you're going to hear from Max Samuel in just 30 minutes or so. And I just want to emphasize, like, these people are so important for building the ecosystem here. They're currently investing in they're investing around $100 million. They're in the first year right now, and they're looking for Nordic founders. So just want to emphasize that this is not only a Norwegian VC, this is building the whole community in the Nordics. And in the last, I would say 4 years, maybe, we have built, I say we, because I take credit for the village building these companies, is we've built 7 unicorns. And I think this, of course, compared to other cities, it's not a lot, but it says something about, you know, the curve is going very fast upwards. So I think from 2020 to 2021, the investments in Norway grew 270%. So there are opportunities for scale-ups as well, and because I think 70% of capital invested in Norwegian startups and scale-ups came from international investors. So there's a big opportunity for scale-ups here, but also for international investors on sort of being part of the community. Here you meet Siw Andersen. She's the founder and CEO of Diversify in Herspace. Herspace is a co-working space here in Oslo. Diversify is a network, soon to be an incubator. And also they hosted a Nordic event last week in Oslo, and they gather around 500 people. And her mission is to build more diverse and inclusive ecosystem as well, because we know, of course, we can say, you know, we have like 40% of women, 40% of CEOs in Oslo are women, but we know that, you know, all VC investments go to a majority of men and a majority of white men. So people like Siw is really important for us, just, you know, to create change and to build a strong and sustainable ecosystem, because 33% of people who live in Oslo, they are either born outside of Norway or their parent is born outside of Norway. That's why I'm going to address this very shortly. I know I'm speaking a lot and time is short, but our focus for the next years and months and days to come is to focus a lot on talent, international talent, Norwegian talent, people that are part of building either companies, startups, scale-ups, working in these companies, internationals coming here to work in companies, or investment talent that we also need to build a sustainable ecosystem. And just to give you a couple of examples, talent attraction and retention will be the main priority for Oslo Business Region in the next few months and years to come. That doesn't mean that we don't focus on other things. It's not only me on the team. We are 8 people on the Oslo Business Region team, and in only a few weeks, we are hosting Oslo Innovation Week. I hope you will all join. You're very welcome to join us, and feel free to reach out on LinkedIn, Twitter, drop me a note, and then it's easier to see how you found out or found us. And in addition, if you're an international investor, or maybe you're a scale-up in Oslo or Norway, we are also hosting a fun day in October in London to bridge between international investors and scale-ups. That's it. If you want to follow us, if you want to join our newsletter, use the QR code here, and you can get immediate access to learning more about Oslo and learning more about the opportunities here.
Thank you so much, Siw. I love it. Of course, when a city or if a region or an ecosystem is expanding, talent attraction and retention is the key priority, because you want people to drive the change. Great stuff happening in Oslo with Oslo Innovation Week. Don't miss it. The links are being posted by our team as well. And so don't miss these events. And awesome that you're bringing scale-ups and investors in a matchmaking space. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Siw, for your insights on the Oslo region. We now